please do all that YouTube stuff if you haven't already. If you could please reach down and give this video a thumbs up and a like. Honestly, this is so important to us as Really? He ruined it, Paul. He ruined it.
I don't know why I'm chuckling.
Come on. Hello, and welcome back to Navigating the Periphery. As always, my name is Deborah, and this is my son, Philip.
Hello.
We hope everyone is having a great day today. If you're into what we're doing on our channel, if you could please do that YouTube stuff if you haven't already. If you could reach down and give this video a thumbs up and a like. Honestly, this is so important to us as content creators, because the more likes this video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. And we really want to get our message out there and try to reach and help as many people as we can. Navigating the Periphery, we're trying to stop the stigma of a mental health diagnosis, one show at a time. Also, if you know anyone who could benefit from watching this channel, please help spread the word. Remember, it is okay not to feel or be okay all the time. You guys out there are not alone.
We are here.
We are here. So, Philip, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great today, Mom. How are you doing?
I am good. And I'm excited to discuss today's topic. Today, we are going to navigate the periphery of how or if our metabolism can affect our mental health.
Research has indicated that those who experience mental health problems often have slower metabolisms. This may be a contributing element to the problem's onset in some cases, or it may be a side effect of medications used to treat specific mental diseases. When it comes to mental health treatment, lifestyle modifications are frequently advised. Patients are usually urged to eat healthier and get more exercise during the day. However, making those adjustments when you suffer from a mental illness or mental health issues can be challenging, because mental illness is frequently accompanied by poor motivation and energy. We discussed this in episode 12 on anhedonia and fatigue, which focuses more on that topic. If you haven't seen it, check it out below. Now, the difficulty is increased. When drugs that also slow metabolism are added, I personally have experienced this issue. I struggle with motivation to exercise and even to eat healthy sometimes.
Unfortunately, many people struggle with feelings of failure and despair when they attempt to make those changes and progress in those ways, but they simply don't have the mental, emotional, or motivational capacity to do so. This only makes matters worse. So this raises the question, are mental disorders metabolic disorders? So first, let's break down what your metabolism is and what it does.
On the most basic level, metabolism is the process by which your body converts the food and water you consume into energy for immediate use or to be stored for later. We are going to link a really good video on metabolism in the description box below that breaks it all down in simple terms. Metabolism, or the metabolic process, encompasses two main types of activities. The first is catabolism. Catabolism is the part of the metabolic process that breaks down large complicated molecules into smaller ones in order to produce energy.
Then, in contrast to catabolism, there is anabolism. Anabolism is the process by which the body utilizes the energy released by the process of catabolism to synthesize complex molecules. Metabolism is influenced by various factors, including genetics, age, sex, hormone levels, and environmental factors such as diet and physical activity levels. The efficiency and rate of metabolism play a critical role in determining an individual's energy levels, body weight, and overall health. Disorders of metabolism can lead to a wide range of health issues, from diabetes and obesity to rarer genetic conditions that affect how the body processes specific nutrients.
So are mental disorders metabolic disorders? The relationship between mental disorders and metabolic disorders is complex and cannot be generalized as a simple yes or no. Mental disorders encompass a wide range of conditions that affect mood, thinking, and behavior, and they can have various biological, psychological, and environmental origins. Metabolic disorders, on the other hand, involve disruptions in the body's process for converting food into energy and eliminating waste, often related to imbalances or defects in the enzymes or hormones.
Research has identified biological links between metabolic disorders and certain mental health conditions. For instance, there's evidence to suggest that individuals with metabolic syndrome, which is a cluster of conditions that include increased blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess body fat around the waist, and abnormal cholesterol levels, that they are at higher risk for developing depression and anxiety. Similarly, some psychiatric medications used to treat mental disorders can increase the risk of developing metabolic syndrome due to side effects like weight gain and insulin resistance.
Both metabolic and mental disorders can involve a dysregulation of neurobiological systems. For example, alterations in pathways related to neurotransmitters, the chemicals that facilitate communication between neurons, and inflammation have been implicated in both types of disorders. This suggests that for some conditions at the neurological level, overlapping mechanisms could exist.
Chronic low-grade inflammation, which can be a consequence of metabolic disorders, is a potential mechanical connection to mental health conditions. Inflammatory cytokines can affect brain function and neurotransmitter systems, contributing to the development of depression, anxiety, and in rare cases, psychosis. If you remember, we actually covered cytokines in episode 3. When we discussed how the COVID-19 virus impacted mental health. If you haven't seen it, please check it out below. Additionally, inflammation can exacerbate stress responses, further impacting mental health.
Lifestyle and psychosocial factors can play a significant role in the development and management of both mental and metabolic disorders. Stress, diet, physical activity, and social support systems, for example, can impact both mental health and metabolic health. Thus, interventions that address these lifestyle factors can be beneficial for individuals with either or both types of conditions.
So in simpler terms, for everyone to more easily understand all of this, what this means in a nutshell is that treatment plans can be improved by having a better understanding of the metabolic foundations of several mental health issues. For example, treating metabolic imbalances with medicine, nutrition, and exercise can occasionally lead to better mental health outcomes in the long run. On the other hand, successful mental health treatment might encourage people to take up healthier lifestyle choices that would reduce their risk of metabolic diseases.
In conclusion, there are substantial interactions and overlaps between these categories of medical diseases, even if not all mental problems are metabolic disorders. Understanding these relationships is crucial for effective treatment strategies that take into account the complex nature of one's overall health. Given these biological links, there is growing interest in integrated treatment approaches that address both metabolic and mental health issues concurrently. Lifestyle interventions such as diet and exercise, pharmacological treatments, and psychotherapeutic approaches can be tailored to manage both sets of conditions, potentially improving overall patient outcomes.
Out of breath there.
Yeah.
One of those integrated approaches is called metabolic psychiatry. This is a new subspecialty focused on targeting and treating metabolic dysfunction to improve mental health outcomes. Growing evidence points to a connection between mental illness and altered metabolism in the brain. So in theory, treatments addressing this dysfunction may improve patient outcomes. The rates of metabolic conditions are already very high in the general population. One study found that up to 88% of American adults have poor metabolic health, and in people with psychiatric diseases, those rates are even higher.
For a long time, doctors have thought of nutrition as mostly a secondary therapy, an add-on to medications that might lower blood pressure or improve diabetes. But now the medical field has realized that nutritional metabolic therapy can serve as a significant medical intervention for mental illness, one that can change the structure and function of the brain.
In fact, lessons from the medical history in the neurology field, where doctors recognized over a century ago the links between metabolism, the brain, and the body, which led to successfully treating pediatric epilepsy with the ketogenic diet before the first discovery of any anti-seizure drug. And now keto diets are all the rage due to their benefits with weight loss and the gut microbiome benefits. Although medicine doesn't explain all the mechanisms involved, it establishes that patients who were diagnosed with the first episode of schizophrenia before they've been treated with medications already have disrupted insulin and glucose metabolism in their brains. As insulin resistance develops, the brain becomes leakier, meaning more substances can pass through the blood-brain barrier and get into brain tissue.
This results in a buildup of toxic substances and increased inflammation. There is significantly more inflammation in the brains of people with mental illness, especially in treatment-resistant patients, than in healthy people, which, as we discussed in an earlier episode, that the inflammation from cytokines may have contributed to my onset of schizoaffective disorder, but we'll never know for sure.
Over the course of the last century, an enormous amount of research has also been done on metabolism and mitochondrial malfunction and how those factors impact brain activity in mental illness. The cell's mitochondria are where energy is produced and used. Neural networks, or the communication and connections between those brain cells, are unstable when they aren't functioning properly, which then deteriorates mental health and affects cognitive ability, therefore affecting one's overall mental health. So when you ask the question, can your metabolism affect your mental health? The medical answer definitely points to a yes.
Mental disorders are a growing crisis and are the leading cause of disability on the planet. Although we have many treatments to offer, they fail to work for far too many people. If you think this is too pessimistic, it's important to note that depression is now the single most disabling illness, above heart failure, back pain, cancer, and other conditions. By better understanding the science of metabolism and mitochondria, we can finally connect the dots of mental illness.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
Physicians and clinicians will now be able to offer new treatments and interventions. Patients and clients have many more options for treatment, some that they can even pursue on their own, such as diet and exercise. Research can advance the field by better understanding the underlying metabolic causes of mental disorders and identifying new treatments for patients in the future who were diagnosed.
That was a very interesting topic, don't you think?
I definitely think so, and something to definitely look into further.
I completely agree. It could give patients with mental illness and mental health disorders more treatment options.
We really hope you enjoyed today's episode on metabolism and mental health. If you have any questions, please ask. And like Philip said before, we will link that video on the metabolism and how it works in the description box below. And remember, it's okay not to feel or be okay all of the time. You are not alone. We're here. Please leave your comments and thoughts below, and thank you so much for watching this episode of Navigating the Periphery, where we are trying to stop the stigma of mental health, one show at a time. Please take care, have a wonderful evening, and we will see you in our next episode coming really soon. Take care for now. Bye!
Bye!